Coding Made Easy.
So what's up everybody, this is Peter aka Coding Made Easy coming to you with your 6th Libgdx tutorial. So in this tutorial we are going to be looking into some keyboard input. So we've gotten an image set up and yada yada yada, but what's an image if we can't even do anything with it? And so for the next few tutorials we're going to be looking at various ways to do input and such. So in this tutorial we're just going to be handling some keyboard input. So we already have our texture region loaded from the previous tutorial, and what we're going to do is we're going to create a vector 2 for our position, and we're just going to set our position to 0 0. So now what we want to do is actually handle our updates and stuff. Now what I normally like to do, I normally like to make a separate update method, but if you want you could do it all in the render method. Now in the Libgdx documentation, they tend to do the updates after the sprite batch, but I like to do the updates before. Don't really think it matters though. So now let's do some updates. We're gonna say if gdx.input is key pressed, and we just have to use the keys class, and we select which key that we actually want. So let's select say keys W. So and it will put input.keys.w. I think if you import the input class, or import the input package, then you won't need to put this, but by default you can just put input.keys.whatever key you want to select. So if they press the W key, we want our image to move up. So we're going to say position.y minus equals, and we're going to have a move speed. And let's go to the top and let's create a move speed. And we'll set the move speed equal to, let's just say 100 right now. Okay, so why do we do negative? Why do we do minus equals? Because remember, the further up the screen we go, the lower the value is, because we switched the way the camera works. So we're gonna have an else if, and we're gonna say gdx input is key pressed, input keys, and if they press S, then they're gonna go down. So plus equals move speed. Now if we want to have diagonal movement, we're gonna put an if. But if you don't want diagonal movement, you're just gonna put an else if here. So we're gonna say gdx input is key pressed, input keys. So if they click the D key, so they want to go right, then we're gonna say position.x plus equals move speed, and else if they press the A key, we're going to say minus equals to move speed. Okay, so this is going to actually move, set our position and stuff like that. So all we have to do right now is just say, make a call to sprite batch.draw, and we're going to put in our texture region, and we're going to place in our vector. Now I don't know if we have to separate it. Yep, we do have to separate it. So we're just going to put position X and position Y. And so let us run this program right now. And so we got our image, and when we press right, when we press right, when we press right, like WASD, then we can move our image around. So voila, we got movement. But there is one flaw, and it's a flaw that you won't really notice. You're not going to notice unless you run it on a computer with different specs. We want it to run at the same speed on every single computer. We don't want it to run faster on one computer and faster on another computer. let's just say for example my render method executes executes every single second, right? But let's say that your computer was a bit slow and yours executed every 2 seconds. Then every 2 seconds your player would move 100 spaces, and every second mine will move 100 spaces. So my character would move faster on my computer and significantly slower on your computer, and that's not what we want. We want to run the same no matter what speed the computer is. So what we're going to do is we're going to say times GDX graphics get delta time, and we're going to do this for everything that has a move speed. Now what does this do? I'll show you this in just a second. So what does this do? So as I said, if we're moving at if we move 100 spaces every second, right, we're gonna multiply this. So we're gonna say, okay, the move speed times a second, which gives us 100. So every second we're gonna move 100 spaces. Now say your render method updates every 2 seconds. Now what get delta time is a change in time since the last frame. So if the next frame updates every 2 seconds, then we're gonna say, okay, 100 times 2. So then every single time it renders, then based on the delta time, instead of moving 100 spaces, we're going to move 200 spaces to make up for it. And so the character will remain on the same section of the screen where it should have, whether it lags, whether it doesn't. It'll move the same speed on every single system, which is what you want. If we didn't do something like that, like if we had first-person shooters or something and somebody had a better PC, then they would move a lot faster and they would have the advantage. But with this, everybody moves at the same speed, everybody does everything at the exact same speed. So when we run this program and move it, you're going to see it move significantly lower because it is multiplying it by the delta time, which is like 0.1 of a second. So if you want it to move faster, you can increase the move speed and so on and so forth. But anyways, this is it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. The next tutorial we will be looking at some input for the Android, or actually we'll be looking into some mouse input, which can be used for some input for the Android. So yeah, anyways, bye for now.